If you're tuning in, you're questioning the narrative and yearn for clarity. Welcome. This podcast explores diverse topics, dedicated to unraveling truths with insights from special guests and experts. Tune in on Spotify and other streaming platforms.
Hey everybody, thank you for tuning in. I'm Maya. Welcome to Hoodwinked. Some people know me as Maya the Bee, and if you know me as that, this show is going to be a lot different in terms of content I produced in the past. I recorded this like 3 times already, and I think corporate America has kind of taken over my brain where I think I have to have these perfect speaker notes. And no, this is my podcast. I can talk however I want to talk. I can have random thoughts. I can have incomplete thoughts. That's this type of space. It's going to be a safe space for me and my guests and anyone that wants to participate in the conversation. So just a little reintroduction of myself. Again, I'm Maya the Bee. I consider myself one of the pioneers in podcasting. I had a few shows that really were groundbreaking during the time of the internet kind of boom. We had internet radio. We didn't call it podcasting at that time, but very quickly did internet radio turn into video streaming. And I was definitely at the forefront of that for urban content. So I had a show called The Roundtable Show with Lenny S. Lenny is one of the Rock Nation executives. The goal of that show is really to have kind of like a late night, talk show vibe, like a Dave Letterman or a Jay Leno with performances. But our secret sauce was really bringing together people that normally don't perform together, like an EPMD and a Freeway or a Corey Guns and a Wale. So really took our time when we were curating these shows and brought together people that we knew as fans. I myself am a hip hop super fan. I got the privilege to be a teenager in the mid 90s when actually I turned into a teenager in 1993. And I was listening to, hip hop way before that, probably 10, 11. I remember I got my first bag of tapes as a birthday gift from my friend Jay. He basically took his older brother's cassettes, the ones that he thought he wasn't listening to anymore. I know like Master Ace, Nice and Smooth was in there. So it was like a bag of tapes. And he was like, here you go. First of all, that was like one of the best presents. I'm like, who needs a He-Man when I have all of these tapes? So that was kind of my first really like getting into hip hop and understanding like why I liked hip hop. And it really was like the underdog factor. I really felt like rap was a avenue to spread the news too. It just felt like, I learned a lot from rap. I, understood that there was people, everywhere that were struggling and that had even worse conditions to deal with. And it made me feel empowered and alive. And I just loved, the different types of music in rap. At that time, people were competing to be different. Now people are competing to be the same, which is so crazy to me. Busta Rhymes, Tribe Called Quest, Jay-Z, Snoop, they never were the same. Like, they didn't rap like each other. They didn't dress like each other. They didn't act like each other. Everybody wanted to be groundbreaking. They wanted to be different. And it was so competitive in a way, like who's going to have the better verse, who's going to fry the other person. Now it's so soft, and they just copy everything. That, not to say there's not any good music out there, but definitely not that same competitive spirit that you had in the 90s and even the early 2000s. So yeah, hip hop head, rambling on. This show is going to be a lot different. So my expertise really is in music journalism. I wrote for a lot of magazines like allhiphop.com. Shout out to Chuck and Grouchy Greg, giving me my first shot before even radio. I started writing. I do have a degree in English, so not that that means shit, but I thought that was kind of what I wanted to do first, but I realized, that life is hard. Not that podcasting was any easier, because the entertainment industry is trash. At that time, you were chasing checks. At least now, with how the social networks are set up and the platforms, like, you can really do everything on your own. You don't need, anyone else's help to monetize your content. So yeah, really kind of transitioning here into something more generalized, something, I want Hoodwinked to basically talk about things that we've accepted as normal and expose things that really need to be talked about, that aren't healthy, that aren't good for us, whatever it is that have some sort of negative impact on us. I want to talk about it, and then I want to talk about ways that we can do something different. It's really important as humans. It's so much bigger than hip hop, but as humans, like, we all need to contribute. We all need to take accountability for what, is going on in this world and on our planet. And I'm a grown-up now, so I'd like to help other people, understand what's going on, figure out ways, that we can remedy things. So really trying to add value with things that'll make a difference in people's lives. Not that music doesn't. Music is the most amazing connector. I just have no interest in interviewing these artists these days. I don't have any interest really in hip hop music these days, or whatever they're calling it. So this, though, anything that affects humans, that I am very interested in. And in my opinion, not to be depressing, because the show is going to be upbeat. I am a glass half full type of person. So I'm not hopeless. So it's not going to be totally depressing, but there is a lot of things that are depressing that we are going to talk about. So over the years, really I've been doing some things here and there. I actually was thinking how I covered the Revolt, I think it was 2014 or 15, their music festival in Miami. I'm like, wow, that was the last really hip-hop thing, was for Diddy. Awesome. That's something I definitely want to talk about in this show. So, really I've been more on the corporate side. It was really just too exhausting, like I said, to be battling for my paycheck all the time and not knowing when the next check was coming and all that. So I just pivoted into a more stable financially kind of world where I could still focus on the things that I love, but, have stable financial situation. So getting older, getting wiser, I'm just seeing more lies, more deceit, more scam, cheating, bamboozling, exploitation of people, especially like my father is getting older. All of us are parents, watching them kind of get older and struggle with technology. My dad's always getting scammed. He constantly believes things. He's like, oh, I just want a new screwdriver. I'm like, Dad, stop filling out shit. You don't need to put your social security in to get a screwdriver. Like, think about it. So there's just so many things going on in the world that need some light shed on them. So that's what Hoodwinked is going to do. So everything, like from our government lying to us, to doctors, to the powers that be, it's like we believe The people have believed in these things like the FDA and our government and our Constitution. We are thinking these are protecting us, but no, it's all about money at the end of the day. I mean, I remember when I found out like goldfish were so bad for you a couple years ago. I was like, what? Those were given to babies. Like, they're still given to babies. Why is goldfish banned, from other countries? So definitely going to do some shows on like favorite foods that we loved growing up that are actually toxic, and give some alternatives. Look at women. We've been sold a lie that we are free in this wonderful United States of America, but we are not. Our bodies are governed by old white guys. We are still fighting for equal pay, yet we pay more for our products than men do. That's called the pink tax. We'll be talking about that too. My allergies are killing me. I know whoever is going through allergies knows right now this is the wonderful season. There's just so many things that we're going to be talking about. So with all that being said, I'm planning to do this season with 6 30-minute episodes. So not going to kill you on time. I know we all have things to do. So quick. They're going to be pretty jam-packed. So I will have a kind of good format so everyone can kind of follow along, and you can expect the same standardized experience each time. So I'll start with like a introduction of what we're talking about. Then I'll have like some case studies to look at. I will also bring in experts and just special guests to weigh in. So lots of pretty trending topics, I would say, like want to go over new weight loss trends like Ozempic and Wegovy. I definitely want to talk about the unfolding of the Diddy files. I'm going to dedicate one show just to go over the history of Puff and try to put some of these puzzle pieces together in these latest allegations. I think it's going to be fun, enlightening, and hopefully, we all learn something that we can take away from this research and these conversations. So, with all that being said, please stay tuned. I will drop episodes on a weekly basis. Follow my IG. It's Smytheby, and you have been hoodwinked for the show. Thanks for listening, everyone. I hope that you enjoy this season and this new content from me. And if you have anything that you'd like to contribute, feel free to reach out. Until next time.